Good morning from Long Island, New York, out in Suffolk County. Today I am here at the Long Island Aquarium. Not a very big aquarium, but they got a pretty nice selection of animals from what I've seen on the website. So go inside and check it out. And plus, you know, there's penguins here, so I'm gonna be happy. Before you even go into the aquarium, you got a selection of seals. I believe these are harbor seals or gray seals. See if we can get a decent shot. There we go. One hanging out outside the water. It's a pretty good sized seal as well. And this is just right here on the street. So if you happen to be around, you can just wander up and see some seals. That guy's my favorite. As you enter the aquarium, after you pay for your admission, the first exhibit you see is actually really nice. It's set up like a boardwalk with a big waterfall in the background. Some fish they don't have here hanging overhead. And then some of the larger animals you'll see at this aquarium are in this enclosure, some big rays and other things. Posing very so nicely, that is a Mangrove Monitor. There is a touch tank area where for a couple bucks you could feed the rays and the bamboo sharks. Horseshoe crabs in here as well. They have a pretty nice area for turtles. These guys, I believe, are mostly red-eared sliders. Yeah. That is a fly river turtle. And a lot of different animals in here. There's also an Australian arowana that's very shiny. And I'm not sure the name of this one. Splash around here, you can see a couple of California sea lions. I think they have 3 or so in here.
There's 4.
4, okay.
2 here and 2 here.
Not the biggest enclosure you'll see for sea lions, so I'm not the biggest fan of that. There is some underwater viewing as well. They do have a sea lion presentation a couple times a day.
But don't worry, folks, she's not done showing off just yet. You see, her neck is...
I love these animals. These are coaties, and they're just so adorable. Looks like they're probably cleaning each other right now. Look at the little face. I really like the enclosure here for the Japanese snow monkeys, which is going to be this beautiful animal here. Oh, I love this animal. This is the prehensile tail porcupine. And there's 2 of them, and they're both moving around. These guys are so cool. Of course, whenever I see one of these, one of my favorite zoos to follow on social media is the Cincinnati Zoo, and they're always posting stuff of their prehensile tail porcupine Rico. Look at him. Outside there is an area for reptiles, and the green iguana just posing. A really cool animal, but not very active. This is the Argentine tegu. A pair of green tree pythons just doing exactly what they do. Pretty much anytime you'll see one of these animals, they're always in that exact pose. Oh, hopping around there and flying. They're very quick. It's green acari. They have 2 different enclosures for them here in the reptile area. Beautiful creature here is an albino Burmese python. I don't know. This section of the aquarium has a Lost City of Atlantis theme. A big enclosure here for some little tiny clownfish, as well as the anemones. Really like the enclosure here for the red-bellied piranhas. Very nice shipwreck-themed enclosure. Lots of tropical fish. There are some very colorful fish in this one. Lots of tall water grass for them to hide in. This enclosure is for the rocky shores of the Northwest Atlantic Ocean. And there's some sort of very large eel down there at the bottom. The next exhibit should indeed be a good one. It is the Lost City Shark exhibit. And this is indeed a very cool enclosure. Big, giant sand tiger sharks swimming on by. And a really well themed area done up as the Lost City of Atlantis. We do have a selection of other fish in here as well.
Look at their snouts. Do you see these tiny black spots? Those are electrical receptors.
I will say these are some of the largest sand tiger sharks I've ever seen. Very, very big. With very sharp teeth. This enclosure is really neat. This is all for animals needed for the Amazon. So you can see the big arowana coming this way. And some smaller piranha type fish. And there's also a couple of turtles. And way back there you can see a giant catfish. I really, really like this enclosure. These are, it's a living coral reef with lots of tropical fish inside. But very, very bright, very well lit. And there's a unicorn fish. Very innovative tank here where it's off the wall for a series of garden eels and shrimp fish. I love the garden eels. That's what they do. They kind of hang out on the sand like that and then drop back in if like a predator's coming. All right, time to pay. Can you find the flounders? Honestly, in this enclosure on the right, I cannot. Over here, well, that one's a little bit easier. I had to turn the camera back on because they're feeding the garden eels. You can see just how long these creatures are. Hiding and all stacked up on each other. I believe these are cuttlefish. It is very dark, but that is an electric eel. This one's a bummer. Of all the enclosures to be under construction, unfortunately it's the giant Pacific octopus. One of my favorite fish to see in any aquarium. There is a second touch tank area for the horseshoe crab and some other crabs. A couple of small primates here, but the second level of the shark tank, these are Jeffrey's marmosets, and they can be very fast. On the second level of the shark tank area, they do have an exhibit for shark eggs. You see the different eggs at various stages of the birthing process there. You can see like little tiny bits of movement. And then if I pan over, one that's much more a fully formed shark. And then the finished product there. Saltwater eel, a pretty small eel species, but really kind of fun to watch. Very, very ribbon-esque. Now I have no idea what species this is, but it is a small octopus. I do like this. You do get a above water view of the big Atlantis shark exhibit. And if you wanted to pay some money, you could go in there with them in the shark cage. The cuttlefish is moving around a little bit, so I have to turn the camera back on. The small enclosure here is for archer fish. Now, if you get lucky, these guys actually come up towards the water and then spit out to try and knock down bugs and stuff for food. The next section of the aquarium is dedicated to butterflies and bugs. One of the first things you get to in the butterfly and bug area is cocoons and some butterflies that have just came out of them. This is a species I'm not very familiar with. That is a water scorpion. Insects are not my personal favorite type of animal, but these are pretty cool. These are giant leaf insects. Actually, looks like a leaf. There are some stairs to get to a second level and get a nice bird's eye view of the butterfly pavilion. And you can see them all flying around. Oh. My dad has made a new friend here in the butterfly area. A display for the western honeybee. They do have a section of the aquarium dedicated to the New York Marine Rescue Center, and they do have a big rescue turtle in here. It'd be very difficult to see.
They help to identify the individual.
And here you can see a very pretty turtle they're currently rehabilitating, trying to put back into the wild. As a big fan of penguins, I do like that outside the enclosure there's giant statues of penguins. Well, this one's a bummer for me. One, it's raining, and I'm not the biggest fan of rain. And two, the penguin enclosure is closed for construction. Actually looks nice. You can see them above the water, below the water. These are going to be African warm weather penguins. There's even a penguin pop-up you could crawl into. Complete with some tranquil music playing is a koi fish pond. Well, here's one of those signs you never want to see. Otter is one of my personal favorite animals. While not on exhibit today, the otter enclosure does look pretty nice. They have a giant observation platform and playground called the Eye Opener. I imagine that's very, very popular. All right, so this one's pretty nutty to me. The aquarium's like $42 to get into, and it doesn't even include this playground, which would be an extra $12. Not operating today is the simulator ride. I'm normally a fan of simulators, so I would have probably given this a go. Looks like it's $4 a ride. The aquarium is home to the Atlantis Cafe, so if you do need to grab some food while exploring the Long Island Aquarium, you can do so. Here's a look at the map of the Long Island Aquarium. You enter right there, the seals are over here, and this is all going to be an inside area, and then you're going to have the outdoor exhibits kind of in the back, and then on the left side, it's going to be butterflies, bugs, and bees. Now, so just some practical information, this is not a cheap experience. A one-day ticket will run you $43. And that'll do it for my time at the Long Island Aquarium. Overall, I would say it's okay. Definitely not going to be one of the better zoos or aquariums you'll find out there. I do think it's pretty overpriced at $43 for what is not a very large attraction. Some things I really enjoyed. I thought the Atlantis shark enclosure, that was awesome. Love seeing the coatimundis and the prehensile tail porcupines. Some things I didn't like as much was like, man, that sea lion area is very, very small. And I don't like seeing sea lions in something that's so tiny. That doesn't make me feel good about going there and supporting something like that. But overall, it had some ups and some downs, but that was the Long Island Aquarium. If you have any questions about the Long Island Aquarium, let me know in the comment section below, and thank you very much for watching.